You got a book. Um, Tell me a little bit about that. It's like a man's view of it. I don't want to screw the title up. Help me.
The title is Man Stuff.
Right.
The subtitle is Devotional Thoughts on Faith, Family, and Fatherhood. And it's basically a, a project that Thomas Nelson Publishers approached me about. And at first, it scared me half to death because I'm thinking, this I'm too young to write a book, or I haven't lived enough to write a book. But when they started talking to me about what they would like to see, I got to thinking about it, and it really appealed to me. They basically wanted me to just kind of share my experiences, my life stories, and just put it in kind of a devotional form. So basically, it's 90 short stories of my life, my
90?
experiences. 90, yeah, and it's basically things from my life that I've been through or that I've experienced or stories I've heard that I learned something from, and that I took wisdom away from. Mistakes that I've made that I've learned from, successes that I've been through that gave me a lot of experience, and we attach a scripture verse with each one of them, and it's basically an opportunity for me to kind of say some things I've never really been able to say before. A lot of these stories aren't things that I would just open up and share about on stage or in an interview.
Right.
So it was a fun project for me to be a part of. The first day that I worked on it, I literally spent 13 hours just sitting and talking and telling stories and just trying to document all this. And so it was cool for me because all of those stories, all of those things from my life that I learned from are now in a tangible form for me and my children, my grandchildren, my fans. And not only that, but I'm honoring the people that I learned from, no matter who that was, and so that to me is probably the most meaningful thing about it.
If you had one of these stories that just pops in your mind that you could share with us now, that just capsule something.
Well, one, let's see how I could go about this. One is about this story that I tell about my granddaddy and how he always warned me about the people that I hung around, and the company that I kept. And he always had this saying. He said, "If you hang around a cow pasture long enough, you're bound to step in blank." That was one of the stories that just little one-liners that literally you can wrap a lesson around. And it was all of these stories are just from my country, South Carolina upbringing, quirky country ways that people would say things,
There's some Hemingways out there in those coveralls, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom and simplicity, and that's yet another thing I like about country music too. So.